Yes, Meg and Net between them. Dit, she was also called Net, rather complicated, but Dit had money from a pension from Canada, because she went over teaching in Canada for a while.
Right.
And taught in Calgary.
Yes.
And she came back and had a lump sum, and so she bought the house in logs.
Oh, they do. I had no idea it was their house.
Yes, it was their house.
Yeah, but they went to... Because I think we probably only went, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 times, but it's absolutely crystal clear in my memory because it's like a holiday, and
yes.
I loved them, and they were
terribly good with children.
And they played rummy with us and made
yes.
us meat and potato soup.
I always played cards with them, and they gave me gambling money.
Yes.
And I had a purse,
yes,
which I kept closed up, and it had all the money they gave me, and I gambled with it. I played poker and all sorts of things.
They must have been very good with children, because I just remember...
Well, it wasn't. I think they did that anyway.
Yes.
But you also walked along the prom with Virginia at the same time. So Virginia must have gone to have holidays with Net and Meg in Largs, and you went. Yes.
Everybody went to Largs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where was Morris then? He wasn't born then?
Well, if she was running along the promenade, she was...
How much younger is
6
Morris
years?
than...
Yes, something like that.
Oh, quite a lot. Okay. Yeah.
But it was maybe, I think, also because Mum stayed with them when she came back from Canada, didn't she? She stayed with Dit and Meg. She stayed to Scotland, and then there's pictures of your mum and her.
Your mum?
My mum, June, stayed in Scotland with them first when she came back from Canada, because there's letters from her.
When had she been in Canada?
You all went to Canada after Hong Kong.
No.
Yes.
No.
She went to school in Canada.
You went to Canada, and
I've got school reports from Vancouver High School from Mum.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I got it.
And then your mum took you back on the dangerous convoy in the middle of the war.
If ever you'd heard of anything daft, that was it.
But you all got back.
We did get back safely.
Yes, and then you and Ollie went off somewhere else, and she
was so clever. She went to Royal Holloway doing French and German. She'd never spoken a word of German. She started German from scratch. In 2 years, she got a first-class degree. Nobody else has a brain like that. Maybe you have.
I think so. But she was in Scotland on her own. Didn't you and your mum
go
was
back
in Hong Kong or somewhere?
No,
she went off somewhere else after
early on, when we were still in Hong Kong, she was at school at Malvern.
Oh, that's right. She came
and
this way, and she
went
holiday
there on her
in
holidays.
Scotland. That's right. Clever you. And then you went to Canada, and she also then joined you in Canada. And then you all came back together. Yes. And that was when Jim was in the prisoner of war camp.
Yes, we all went there together. Because my mother thought that Canadian education was not good enough for her girls. Can you imagine?
Quite right too. Well, as far as what little bits of paper I've got, all June did was act.
Yes.
She was just in play after play.
And all I did
at the
LSE was act. I mean, for heaven's sake, what were they bringing up? Two show-offs.
Do you know what? I've got a letter. I mean, this is not news, but it's just a stunning historical letter. Mum, this was way later, when she was working for the Foreign Office, I think, and that and she decided to get married to my father, and it was the letter of dismissal because married women couldn't work. And you just think it was normal then, but so shocking.
They were in the same office in Paris.
Yes. Although he was in London, because there's lots of correspondence
coming and going.
Yes. Yeah.
She was completely bowled over by your father.
Yes.
Not because, but one thing was, he would ask her out to dinner in London, and he'd already booked a table. He'd already got red roses on the table and a bottle of champagne with her name on it on the table, and she just thought this was...
Well, Tessa's transcribing their love letters, and she was just on the stairs. She was just saying, just describe the difference in the letters which you've.
There's loads of letters. They both kept every letter that was written, and so there's lots before they got married, while they were corresponding and she was in Paris and he was in London at one stage. But the funny thing is, he is romantic and loving, and I couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking of you and the last time we kissed, and I mean, just such beautiful love letters. I'm terribly cross with you because I didn't get a letter on Saturday, and I must have a letter every Saturday morning, and well, how do you treat me like this, and could you please bring X, Y and S, and so and so and so.
Amazing.
And just no romance, no emotion, just down to earth and terribly cross.
Really?
It's fascinating, yes.
Doesn't sound right, does it?
It doesn't sound right at all. I was really surprised. It's very funny. And she writes all
I
about...
think we should all keep letters because they would... I mean, it's too late for me now, but if I'd kept all the letters to David...
You and David, did you not keep them?
Well, no, I think I may have one or two, but I kept his because they were so interesting about Central Africa.
Yeah.
What we actually do have are, on Dad's side, his parents' love letters, which were not just love letters, they were works of art.
Wow.
And they had drawings and quotations and bits of music written out, transcribed. And they in them. I mean, they were just clearly so knowledgeable and so well informed, and compared to the lot is, a bit like your mum, dear so and so, pragmatic. This is what I need to know. They were works of art. They were beautiful.
Had a whole lot more time, you see.
So that was when the letter was a work of art, and you were communicating a conversation rather than
Yes. And also that thing didn't exist.
No.
And the
and
radio.
this thing.
Yes. No, nothing. And so you wrote and drew.
Yeah.
And lovely.
Yeah. There's one bit. I mean, it just again, it shouldn't be a surprise, but it is. And this was when John was born, and
yes, and
Dad had gone away to Malaysia already.
And June was staying with
June
me.
was with you, and then at one point she was, and there are these airmail letters
going back and forward.
And the frustration is palpable because it takes a week.
Yes.
And then the reply comes back and you're saying, shall I get the BOC flight or shall I not? And the Ministry of Dada has said I've got to do this and I really can't do that. And she's trying to organise life. He's saying what she said 2 weeks ago, replying is just, and you think they can't pick up the phone.
Yes.
It's really
and
interesting. Shall I bring this?
I remember bringing her back from hospital with John.
Yes.
Newly born.
Yes.
And David was driving and she was in the front seat.
Yes.
I was in the back seat with a carry-cot, which was John.
Yes.
And she had to stop every 10 minutes to see if he was still alive, if he wasn't crying.
Of course she did.
So David very patiently stopped so she could go and see, yes, he's alive, okay.
Are you older than John or? Yes,
slightly.
So, well, you
2 months.
Experienced. You just had
2 months
yes,
later.
Yes.
I don't know where you were in this journey at all.
Abandoned at home.
Of Sarah and John together, you and Mum.
I love that one with the
having a lovely time.
And we had the wrong babies. There's a lovely picture.
Really?
Quite importantly, she was carrying Sarah and I was carrying John, and it was a nice photograph.
Oh right, yeah. I didn't realise the babies were mixed up, but I think that was a really
No, it
nice
wasn't
time.
mixed up. It was quite deliberate.
No, but yes. Yeah. But things like, and then she's saying, "Can you send me another cheque? Because I think I'm going to run out of money."
Yes.
And then, so he had to then send a cheque that could only be cashed in
in a certain bank. Yes.
Amazingly.
And that, you see that, but that's 60 years ago, David. It's quite a long time ago.
It is, but you don't realise how
much has changed.
Easy things are to do because everything took time.
Yes, everything.